Happy Wednesday, everybody! And it is God. I can't believe this is our second show of the year already, Tim. We're just plowing through the year already. It's early 2025, and welcome to everybody to another Snipes and Stripes right here on
I
No
can't hear you,
Filter.
JR.
No, you can't. You can't hear me. Well, I will just go on from here and see if we can figure it out what's going on with your mic or figure out what's going on with your computer. But it is a beautiful Wednesday. I want to just say we really feel awful and are praying for everybody in Los Angeles, everybody in the Palisades, everybody in Los Angeles, everybody that is in the wake of these fires. It is a terrible, terrible situation. So our hearts go out to everybody, and we hope that everybody stays safe and that there are no casualties, as few as possible. So I have to say that. Timmy, good to see you, my friend.
You too,
Happy
buddy.
Wednesday. Thanks to Whiskey in the Wild, the greatest whiskey on the planet, the chocolate and chocolate orange. Go to whiskeyinthewild.com for the best experience you'll ever have in a glass. Our protected neck guards, which our good friend Tim Peel is helping protect a lot of kids from obviously seeing what has happened and so many catastrophic injuries. And way to go, Tim. And then our Bet Online. Listen, no better way to make some money if you're good in event gambling than to go and bet online. So thanks to everybody. And we're just going to jump right in. PLC, just why don't you kind of bring on, or at least talk about who we're going to bring on, because it's pretty special seeing that it's the beginning of the year, which means World Juniors just finished.
World Juniors and the USA back-to-back gold medals. Canada is not the powerhouse that they used to be, JR. And I'm going to get into that with ZV, and I'm going to get to pronounce his last name.
I love it.
Because I don't want to butcher it. But this guy's a stud. First round draft pick by Minnesota. Many predicted Minnesota got him at 12. People think they hit the jackpot in this guy. So let's bring him in.
Let's do it. Let's bring him on. He's got to be pretty excited about what's going on. That's for sure. Celebrating a World Junior Championship. I mean, that's spectacular in itself. But a lot of great things going on for this kid. And there he is. Look at him. What a beautiful young man.
On?
What's up, ZV?
What's up?
Hey,
Okay,
so two things. Let's get this right out of the way. It's ZV, right?
It's Zeev. Zeev's fine.
Zeev.
Oh,
Zeev.
I love it.
And then how do you pronounce your last name?
Buium.
Buium.
Like
Okay.
boo and then yum.
Boo and then yum. Perfect.
Like, that's going to sound so good in the National Hockey League. You know, it's going to look so good on the back of a Minnesota Wild jersey. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
buddy, you got to be on cloud nine right now. So congratulations. What an amazing accomplishment. I know how awesome that tournament is. I competed in it twice, never won it, but tell us the emotions and the feelings coming out of just such an awesome championship.
Yeah, it was awesome. First, thanks for having me on, and it's great. But yeah, it was incredible. I mean, to do it, not just once but twice, and I think for me, just seeing the difference, but also the similarities in the two groups, and just being able to be a part of it and share with those guys, it's so special. And you have 50 new brothers for life now, so it's awesome.
So Zeev, just before we get into your story, your brother Shay, I know it's Shay, right?
Yeah, Shy.
Shy, and he's a draft pick of Detroit. He's playing in Grand Rapids, but I want you to know the impact that players like yourself playing for that USA team mean to little kids at the rink. And I'm going to give you a quick example. My son Bronson's 2012. We're driving to the rink yesterday for practice. I tell him, I said, "Hey Bronson," because we're in Chicago last weekend, and Sunday night, all the parents, all the kids were huddled around. We're watching the game. It's 3-1. I'm not happy at that point. We'll get into that in a second. but all the kids are going crazy. They're cheering on every goal. But I tell Bronson driving to the game or to practice last night, I said, guess who we're having on tomorrow? JR and I. He goes, who? I go, you know, the guy that made that saucer pass up the middle. And Bronson goes, no way, that's awesome. So
Awesome.
it means a lot to, because you've been in that position. You were
Yeah,
12 years old. You know what I mean?
for
And it
sure.
means so much to these kids to see you and to see you guys have so much success, because it gives them something to look forward to.
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%. That's awesome to hear. I mean, it's a big reason why we do it. I mean, I think, for me personally, I never thought I'd have an impact like that on younger kids, especially just the way we grew up playing hockey. We were always the ones just kind of looking up to people and hoping we could be in their shoes one day. So that's awesome.
Dude, you had an impact on me because I played 21 years, just got inducted to the Hall of Fame, and no way could I do a saucer pass like that. No way. That was one of my worst traits, one of my worst skills is a saucer pass, and you made it look so effortless, so amazing. What I mean, to come back obviously from 3-1. I mean that Finnish team is no joke. They play a hard style North
Yeah.
American mentality. Um, you guys are down 3-1. Take us into the locker room. What's the conversation going on in there? Because obviously you guys weren't feeling too good about it, but you know,
Yeah.
talk to us about take us into the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we were worried at all. I mean, the year before that, we were down 2-0 to them going into the third, the semifinal game. So, all of us most guys have been in that situation before, and we were just super calm. I feel like we never really had a sense of fear or being scared or nervous or anything. It was just like, we have to get back to doing what we can do. Like the first period, we played terrible. Like
Yeah.
we didn't do anything that we wanted to do, and they played probably their best hockey. So, like in our head, it was like that's their best hockey, and we haven't even shown what we can do.
Great.
So if we just get back to what we can do, like we're gonna score more than one goal on this guy. So,
Yeah.
um, I
What
mean,
a
credit
great
to them. They were a hell of a team. But yeah, I mean, I think just for me, I think it goes all the way back to culture. I mean, just the group of guys we had and everyone just buying in and sacrificing for each other. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it takes to win.
Yeah, belief is everything. There's no question to believe that you can do it, and
Yeah,
that's a great attitude. And again, PLZ, these young kids that are going to watch this interview having that mentality, right? Having that kind of thought process through
yeah,
adversity. I mean, it's I'm gonna call you Zeevy because I love Zeevy. I like
So
just amazing.
Zeev, give me your like, are you the type of guy, it's 3-on-3, which I was surprised it was 3-on-3 for a full 20 minutes. I'd forgot that the IIHF rules were that long.
yeah.
When it's 3-on-3, are you going, geez, I don't want to be the guy that caught, I don't want to make the mistake? Or are you that guy that goes, hey coach, and we'll get into David Carl in a
Yeah,
second. I put me out there. I want to be the guy. Like
yeah.
what's your
I think I'm definitely the I want to be the guy kind of thing. I mean, you heard Matthew Kachuk talk about it in that series, with what was on Prime Video or whatever.
yeah,
But it's like if you're playing, with fear and nerves and you don't want to be to make the mistake, like at the end of the day, like you're probably gonna make the mistake because it's in your
right,
head.
Yeah,
right.
But in my head, I'm like, I think this is for most guys on that team too. It's like when you're in that flow state and you're just playing, you're not thinking about anything. You're just thinking about making the next play and making your reads and playing with instinct. And I think, the more you can get into that and try to find that flow state. I mean, for me, like that's what I like to be in. When I feel like I'm in that mode, like
Yeah.
there's nothing. Like I'm not thinking. I'm not doing anything. I'm just playing free and trying to put the puck in the back of the net.
How
yeah,
much
and
how much
you never know too, right, Timmy? You never know who's going to be that hero, and
right.
For
you
sure.
gotta want to be like. Look at the kids. It's a Stiggs. How do you say his
Stiga,
name?
yeah,
Right?
Stiga, Teddy
He didn't
Stiga.
he didn't score a goal the whole tournament.
Didn't have. I
Right.
don't think he had a shot on net the whole tournament.
Not even shot in that whole tournament, and he's
what,
on the ice in
what was he doing
overtime.
out there, Zeev?
It was
Again,
awesome. I mean, it was actually crazy. Like this goes back to even DC. I mean, he's just shows his coaching. Like he drew up some things on the board, just like face offs and stuff. And he was like, "Hey, Stiga, like take a look at this." like make sure what's going on, and he throws him out there and we score a goal. So
I mean, it's you can't rate it any better, can you?
no, it was incredible. I mean, he's like Teddy's such a great kid too. I mean, like he's awesome. He crawled his way into the lineup, and for him to score that goal was amazing.
How much room did you have? How much room did you see there when you threw it up? Because you're throwing it up the middle, right? You're throwing it
Yeah,
across the ice. You don't want it to get picked off because then you probably got a 3-on-1 or a 3-on-2 the other way. How much room did you see?
a lot, honestly. I mean, I was saying, I was like, it honestly looks better than than what it really was. I mean, any other guy on our team could have made that pass. So
It looked
yeah,
awesome. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
as soon as I saw it leave your stick, I'm like, holy shit, look
I
at this
know.
yeah,
pass. Like, I mean, and then he buried it to boot. But
yeah. It
um,
was. Yeah, I mean, they just kind of got like they're one of their like the guy who was kind of on me. Um, he was such a bad gap. Like he was so far away from me, and like I could have honestly done anything with that puck. But I mean, Teddy was flying down the far side, and I think their guy was either tired or wanted to go for a change or something. Kind of just caught him, and I was like, I can make this pass to him.
yeah,
So it was,
talk about your skill set because I mean, obviously what we just saw, but I'm looking at your stats from the last, obviously growing up and with the national team with Denver and all these teams. You put up some good numbers. I mean, really good numbers.
Mhm.
The offensively, would you call yourself a much better offensive guy? Because obviously you got size and you're extremely smart, great defensively, but your offensive touch and knack seems to be probably one of your strengths. So is it
yeah.
one of your strengths?
I think, yeah, for sure. I think, I'm definitely an offensive defenseman, but I think just over the time here at Denver and maturing and understanding that you have to take pride in defensive side of the rink if you want to win games, especially if you're going to be out there on the ice at those moments. So I think for me, I've really started to take pride in the other side of the game and understand that not just to win, but, to be a player who plays big minutes and consistently, like you have to play both sides of the rink and you have to be just as good as both sides
Mhm.
as anybody else. So for me, like I've always been an offensive minded guy, and I was a little bit of a late bloomer. So like even my 17th year was a little bit tough, and just making adjustments, getting bigger, getting stronger, understanding how to play at that kind of level. And 18th year obviously had a little bit of a better year, and I think Denver was just kind of my breakout year in the
Mhm.
sense of production, and nothing really changed for me. I would say skill set wise, I think I just got bigger and stronger and understood how to pick my spots a little bit better. And obviously that comes with great coaching with David Carl and all the coaches we have here. So, but like I said, I mean, I think for me, like I've really started to take pride in the defensive side, and I think that's
Great.
something I kind of wish I knew when I was a little bit younger. Like people would talk about, but you get away with things when you're
Mhm.
younger. But I think just if I was harped on it honestly a little bit more when I was younger, I think I would just it would just come even more naturally. So
Right.
yeah, it's just something I've really tried to work on a lot.
Hey, Zeev, before we talk about the Denver Pioneers and their great coach and David Carl, I do want to go back a few years because it's kind of important to me because I have a lot of Jewish friends here in St. Louis. How does a kid growing up in San Diego, Jewish parents? I read a great article um, where your mom called you on October 7th of last year, kind of filled you in on what was going on over
Yeah.
in Israel. And because you and your brother were playing for Denver that night, how do I listen? We know Zach Hyman. There's not many. How did a couple Jewish kids from San Diego have so much success to get drafted in the first round and the second round?
I think a lot of credit goes for me, like personally, goes to my brothers and my parents. I think just everyone we were surrounded by. I mean, my parents obviously knew nothing about hockey,
Hmm.
had no idea what the journey was going to be or what sacrifice it was going to take, and they just supported us and sacrificed everything just to see us have fun. And they didn't even know how far it was going to go. Like my mom always talks about, like for her, like for us to even maybe go to college was you know, uh, like a bonus and like unbelievable.
Right.
So for them to see us, get drafted and hopefully live out our dreams one day. It's incredible. And just for my brother playing pro hockey right now, it's like it's a dream. So it's incredible. I mean, I have a lot of credit to my family and just those who supported us. I mean, we grew up playing, like, it wasn't competitive. It wasn't, we made it competitive, but like it wasn't like a travel team. It wasn't, you're not playing, the best players of that age. Like, you're just playing for fun and learning to love the game.
Mm.
There was nothing better than that. We just hang around the rink all day, skate with whoever was able to you were able to skate with. So I remember, like, I was skating with my brother's team and my brother was skating with my team. So
Right.
um,
How did that all start? Obviously, in Southern California. I mean, we know. I mean, obviously, this hockey's getting more popular all over the country, especially in the Sun Belts. We know Austin Matthews was born here in California, but grew up in Arizona, and it is growing. But your parents weren't into hockey, and all of a sudden, you're in Southern Cal, which is baseball, football, basketball,
yeah.
golf, and you guys find your way onto an ice sheet. How did that all happen? And by the way, it is a beautiful blue sky down here in San Diego where I live, and
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it saying, how does Zeev get on a hockey rink when there's a blue sky up above him all the time? How did it start?
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. So Shy, who's obviously in Grand Rapids right now, he we lived in the same neighborhood as one of our cousins, and he played at like this, like little ice rink, Sandy ice rink. This is like the rink we grew up playing. It's funny just because it's like it's such an awesome place to grow up playing. Like, I always have to talk about it because it's like it's so unique. Like, one rink, I think there's more figure skaters than there was ice hockey players, and
Right.
um, we'd have like barbecues in the backyard on Friday nights, and it's like it's so like unique and different. Like, I don't think any other place was doing that. So like we just kind of grew up, like, Shy would go to his games and watch his practices, and he just loved it. He'd go at 6 a.m. and just watch them. Eventually, I asked my parents to let him play, and they're like what, like, no, like, you're not playing hockey, like, this is crazy. Like, we don't know what this sport is. My mom also played professional women's basketball in Israel.
I saw that.
Oh
So it's like
wow!
our big thing. Like, I love basketball. Like, we grew up playing tons of basketball, and
Sure.
every we played every sport, but like, hockey was just the one that kind of stuck for us, and it was unique and it's different. And I remember, like, when I was a kid, I kind of like, it was annoying that our parents didn't know anything at first, because it's like, like, we wouldn't get the best skates or the best sticks, or
Right.
like we
Yeah,
just kind of get whatever's in the lost and found, go grab and use. And the older we got, the kind of more grateful I became for that.
that's
Was
cool.
she? Did she school you on the basketball court?
Oh, she was good. Yeah, I mean, she's got bad knees now, but she was a shooter. Yeah, she can shoot still. So yeah.
What?
I do love that the Israeli connection, the Israel. I have a lot of friends that go over to Israel on retreats and the camps. A good friend of ours, Bill Jaffe, always goes over and brings over his kids and does camps over there. And I believe there's a team coming over to play. I think this year or next year. Have you gone over to Israel? Have you done any of the camps, any of the hockey programs, any of the schools that they have over there in Israel? Because it's growing and it's growing
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, I mean, we used to go to Israel like every summer until COVID hit, and then now it's just so hard with our schedules, and we're just trying to find time to go. But it's so unpredictable, especially at this point in our careers. But we used to go all the time. My oldest brother, played in the JCC Maccabi games over in
Mhm.
Israel,
Yep.
so that was pretty cool to see hockey being played in
Yep.
Israel. So that was unique, and but yeah, it's awesome, and to hear that hockey's growing there is it's great.
Who was your team growing up, Zeef? Who was your?
Uh, it was the Kings
Yeah.
for a good amount of time. I was never really like a huge Ducks fan. Like,
Right.
that was never really my thing, just because I played at the Kings. And I always we grew up like hating Corey Perry and whatever. So
So did I. Don't worry. So did
yeah,
I. I hate him,
so I
but I
was a
played against him.
huge Kings guy, and like I remember, like, they'd have morning skate on Saturdays or whatever at like it's called Toyota Sports Center or whatever, and
Hmm.
we would just, we would sit out there before practice and hope to get some sticks from some of the guys. So
Right.
it was awesome. It was actually really funny. Like, Anze Kopitar was here in Denver. Obviously, the Kings were here, and they were skating at our rink, and it was funny. Like he walked by me and just kind of gave me like a head nod, and like he has no idea that I have one of his sticks.
That's
And
funny.
I just think it's like such a weird thing to think about. Like I was like a kid just trying to get your stick, and now I'm trying to get to the level you're at.
Exactly. That's
Well, I'm
incredible.
sure he'll be wanting your stick, especially the one that you that saucer pass stick. Um, he's is he one of your idols? Obviously, Anjay is he's one of the greatest guys on the planet. Very very close friend of mine, and I mean what he's done in the league. But you know, I playing at that Toyota Center, being there every day. I remember the kids there. I'm picturing you know, around the rink, you
Yeah,
know, getting the sticks and all that stuff. It's what a cool memory. But is Anjay one of the guys that you looked up to, or
for
as a
sure.
defender?
Yeah, I mean
Was
it was like him. Dowdy was a
Dowdy.
big one for me.
Dowdy's a
Dowdy.
beast, man.
I loved Dowdy. Like he was such like he was just great. Like it was so fun just to see him, and like you even see him around the rink. Like you know we don't talk to him or anything, but you just see him like joking around with guys and whatnot on the ice, and just seeing that like makes you love it even more. And so it was awesome. And just to see like those guys around the rink, and you know, for me, like not even thinking about the NHL at that age or thinking about like USA hockey or anything. It's really just like just having fun and just enjoying it every day, and seeing that was awesome.
You know, I wasn't surprised, obviously, by you guys um, having Johnny Goudreau's shirt in your locker room. Obviously, a classy move by you guys and the
Yeah.
coaching staff and so on. I saw Meredith Goudreau, his wife, thanked you guys. What did that mean for you guys to honor him and to have his shirt, have his jersey hanging up in your dressing room?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, very fortunate for me and Cole Hudson. We got to sit right next to it, and
Nice.
he was just right in between us. So obviously, I've never met him or anything like that, but just hearing stories about him and how much guys love. I mean, Ryan Leonard played with him at Men's Worlds, and just in that short time, how I guess close they became, and you know how Ryan talks about him, and it's just incredible to hear, and it's such a sad story, but you know, to have him with us, you know, at that tournament, I think that's what gave us the boost in that Finland game. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just so unique and awesome, and you know, to do that and have it in his like you know memory is
Mhm.
was awesome.
It's all class, right? And
Yeah,
I mean it's one thing that hockey players are the best at is that class aspect.
yeah,
You know, you were in the development program, but what was the what was your big break growing up? Obviously, it's you know the hockey is not to the level in California as it is in Michigan, as it is in Minnesota, as it is in Canada. But what was your big break that really propelled you as a player? Right? Was it coaching? Was it where you played? Was it a specific person that really made your game go to that next level? Because to get to that program is not easy,
yeah.
especially coming from California. What was your
It was a few things. So I give a lot of credit to Jack Bogus.
mm,
He was a coach at the Junior Kings. He you know unfortunately passed
good
away
guy?
from
Yeah, he was a good guy.
from cancer, but he was a lot of people had you know different things to say about him, but you know the more he loved you, the harder he was on you, and
Mhm.
it's hard to understand that as a young kid, just because like you know you have your coach yelling at you to do this and do that, and you're just trying to have fun, but you know
Get
he
used to it.
knew, yeah, exactly, but he knew that like especially in California, like he wanted me to be able to get out of there and make something of myself, so he was so hard on me, and you know, kind of the first coach to really tell me like, hey, like if you want to be something, like you're gonna have to do a lot more than just what you do at the rink. Like you're gonna have to, like when no one's watching, that's when you have to, you know,
That's it.
to be at your best. And you know, for my parents, like they always told us to work hard. They're always telling us there's someone better than you, but um, you know, like hearing that from a coach, and you know, not really knowing, you know, as a 10-year-old kid, you know, not really thinking about that. So that was the first step I think for me, and then getting to Shattuck St. Mary's is kind of where it took off, and understanding
Right.
like how many good
Yeah.
players there are out
Wow.
there, and how many guys are working just as hard as you, if not harder. So it was the waking up at 6 in the morning, getting on the extra ice, and competing with guys, and like we used to have a little joke at Shattuck, like we had at one point like our whole team was basically skating at 6 a.m. just because if one guy didn't skate, you're not going to hear the
Yeah.
end of it. So
Yeah. Awesome.
It was awesome. And for me, I think the biggest jump was COVID. When COVID hit, obviously was terrible. A lot of bad things happened, screwed over a lot of people. But for me and my brother, like it was the best thing that ever could happen for us. Like,
Wow.
we isolated ourselves. We went home. We didn't sit on the couch and feel sorry or take those 5-6 months off. Like we built a gym in our garage and we rollerbladed every day and just worked out. And I grew, I think, like 5 to 6 inches that summer.
Wow.
Within
Jeez.
that break,
Wow.
I put on a lot of weight, and that was going into my 15-year year at Shattuck. And that is what set me up to get to NTDP because I wasn't even on the radar before then. And that was kind of a goal of mine was to make it there, and I knew that I had to put in the work. So
Awesome.
my
You must have,
brother's like the hardest working guy I've ever met. So like being there with him that summer was awesome.
you must have come back to Shattuck, and they must. Who's the new kid?
Yeah,
Like,
they were. It was funny. Everyone's looking at me like, "Who is this guy?" Because when I got to Shattuck, I was 5'2", like 120 pounds, and just this little guy who was so underdeveloped. And I came back. I think I was like 5'6" or 5'7", and maybe even 5'8", and obviously
wow.
weighed a lot more. And everyone's looking at me like, "What the hell happened to you?"
So, so obviously you and Shy are extremely close. What kind of obviously he got drafted in the second round by Detroit. He's playing in Grand Rapids. What kind of player? What kind of defenseman is he, Zeev?
He's awesome. I mean, he's so gifted offense. His mind is definitely his greatest strength. He's so smart, and how well his hands move for how big he is too. I mean, he fools everybody just because he's so big, and it looks like he's just a big heavy defenseman who's just going to play defense and just try to take slap shots at the net. But he'll fake you out, and he can work the blue line really well. So. Yeah, he takes pride in every aspect of his game, especially. But I mean, for him, he's super gifted offensively, and yeah, I mean, he works so hard. I can't stress that enough. Like he went through so much. He never had the easy road.
Mhm.
He always the underlooked guy, underrated, and wasn't supposed to get drafted the year he got drafted, and it's incredible just to see his growth and be a part of it.
I saw. I'm on Instagram a lot, and especially when I'm on the planes, I'm zipping through Instagram. And I don't know. Did you see the Instagram post that one of those hockey buzz did about you probably about 10 days ago? Did you see that one?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was actually really cool because it was like out of all the kids that they could be talking about, whether it's on junior team or it's like, you know, this kid Zeev, he's the steal of the draft, right?
Yeah.
You got all these teams that are like they don't know what they passed up. I mean, you're 12th overall, but for a couple teams maybe to try to trade up so they can get you. And this post is like all these teams aren't going to believe what they passed up in Zeevy. And so for you, how did that feel? How did getting drafted in the first round, and especially going to a really good team? You're going to a really good guy who's the GM. We know he's a good
The
friend of ours,
best. The
Aaron.
best. Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
that's the state of hockey. I mean, you know it very, very well, but that must have been a real treat for you to be able to be drafted to such a good team.
It was. I mean, it's awesome. Their organization, the people within
Yep.
it's unbelievable. I mean, they're the nicest people I've ever met, and so full of life and energy, and I couldn't be more grateful. So it was awesome. I mean, for me, like I said, I mean, growing up the way we grew up, like getting drafted is one thing, which would be crazy, but to go in the first round, something we never even thought about. So. Obviously, you're competitive and you have that itch in you where, at the end of the day, like you want to go high, you want to go wherever. But I think for me, especially with my brother and seeing his experience, like I understood the value of going where you needed to go. And, for me, like I prayed that night before the draft and it was just like, just put me where I need to be. I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
care. I
that's
don't
it.
care.
And exactly. I mean, I don't think it could be a better team, I think, for you.
Yeah, for sure.
They're number one. I know that they want to win a Stanley Cup. I know the owner is one of the most passionate owners.
Big
Craig
time.
Leopold. Craig
Mhm.
Leopold is one of the
Yep.
first class, classiest people that I've ever met in hockey. And
Mhm.
we've just talked about. And you got Mike Medano who's helping out there. I mean, you got everything going. up there.
John Hines,
It's got
John
to, yeah,
Hines,
yeah,
U.S. coach.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be tough. It's got to be tough sitting up there at college right now, knowing that you just won a championship with in the World Juniors. I know you want to start a career. I know you want to get in that national hockey. Like, how much you chomp at the bit, knowing what's in the future for you.
Yeah, it's obviously something that you think about. I think for me, just seeing what they're doing this year and how good they've been, just seeing
Mm-hmm.
what's going on over there, and what's there to be in the next 10 years, 15 years. So it's exciting, and like I said, could be more grateful to hopefully be a part of it one day. But I've always been a really big believer in just being where your feet are, and
Mm-hmm.
That's
I think
awesome.
like if everything, if I'm doing what I need to do here, and trying to win another championship, and just trying to develop and get better, and enjoy these moments, because they're not there forever. So for me, it's just being where my feet are, and if I'm doing the right things, I'm playing the right way, everything should take care of itself. So it's obviously something you think about and want to do, but at the end of the day, like I said, I think for me, it's just continue to do what I love to do, and having fun, and
Is it hard
hopefully,
being
it all
patient?
takes care of itself.
Is
What's
it
up?
hard? Is it hard being patient for you?
I think it used to be. I used to be very much like I just wanted the next thing right away. Like I wanted to go to the next level. Like every time I could get to the next level, I just wanted to go. And it was funny. Like after I got drafted, it was one of those things where it's like it feels like that for a second, where you're just like, I want to go. But then you take it back, you take a second in, and you're like, okay, well, is this the most logical thing to do, or uh, should I, think about this a little more? And I think, we obviously all had conversations, and there's so many challenges that I'm gonna have to face this year with, one being the World Juniors, and that's one that it's accomplished now, going back to back. That is
Right.
something so hard to do, and being a leader on that team was even harder to do, being
Mm-hmm.
the older guy, not the younger guy. It was the first time I've ever been an older guy on a team, so it's like that was a really cool experience. And then being here at Denver, like we're gonna have ups and downs. Like it's gonna be 10 times harder to win another national championship this year, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything more than that I want than winning another national championship. So
I,
uh,
I've
it's
known one of your teammates. I know he didn't play a lot, but he's a great kid, and I know you guys loved him. Was Jack Caruso? I know his
oh, I
parents
love
very well.
Jackie.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the best.
He's a St. Louis kid. But talking about Denver, is your coach at the World Juniors is David Carl, and your coach at DU is David Carl. Tell us about him, because
Oh
obviously, because
yeah,
as you know, and JR knows, he already was a commodity. Now he's a hot commodity. Like there's going to be people that teams looking to hire him as a head coach in the
yeah.
National Hockey
I
League.
mean,
So
as they should. He's the best at what he does. I mean, it goes from everything. I mean, he's such a great guy, and has such like a calm presence all the time, and never gets too high, never gets too low. Even after wins, like we win these big championships, and it's like for him, it's like, all right, let's go get another one. Like it's not over. And I think for me, I love playing for him just because I'm the same way. Like it's like, let's go win another one. Like let's not stop now. So it's been an absolute pleasure just to be coached by him, and be in his presence every day, and just see how great of a coach he is, just that the age that he is. So
right.
I mean, he's it's funny because like we have a guy on our team who's only 10 years younger than him, and it's weird to think like everyone has so much respect for him, and no one sees him as like this super young
Right.
coach. It's there's so much respect, and it's awesome. And every guy on our team, and the World Junior, especially the World Junior team. I mean, you could ask all those guys. They wish they could be coached by him all season long. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter how good their coach is back at school. They wish they had him. So I think that just goes to show what kind of guy and coach he is. And obviously the boys here at Denver, we love him. So it's awesome.
It's all the talk about people going to college. and what it is, that stepping stone now to go to college. It's so much more popular to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a great stepping stone, right? Obviously, the USHL has done a great job of promoting, and the other leagues, and the NAL, and so on and so forth. Back when I was playing, it was, go to juniors or play high school hockey, which is obviously
Yeah.
a lot less. But now that the major junior is allowing players to go to college, I think college is definitely a huge goal for more players now. Do you think that that's going to have an effect on younger kids coming up in terms of whether they go play junior, whether they go to college? Because obviously you're seeing the benefits of college. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I,
And
I think like college hockey is gonna be like the pinnacle. It's gonna be like college football. Like everyone is gonna end up, in college hockey and wanting to play college hockey. At the end of the day, like you're a top player in your junior team. Why do you want to be an 18, 19-year-old guy? You're an older guy in that league. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
why not go and now you're playing against younger kids. Like why not go and continue to develop and play against harder competition and no knock on to like those major junior teams, but in my opinion, like college hockey is the best hockey. It's the
yeah,
hardest.
yeah,
Those top end guys in the WHL, the OHL, the CHL, like they're phenomenal. They're great players, but like why not come here to college, make
yeah,
college even more skilled, and now
100%.
you also have that with just how strong and bigger and faster guys are.
yeah.
Every year you play college hockey, like the level doesn't go down for you
I
because
wonder
it's like
how that's going to change college hockey in terms of, because you're going to get a lot of younger kids, right?
yeah.
That college eligible yet, but they'd be more inclined maybe to go play major junior and get that earlier high aspect of hockey
For
under
sure,
the belts, and then I think
100%,
yeah, I think college hockey is going to take another big step forward as the premier stepping stone to the National Hockey League.
I
for
can't,
sure.
JR, I can't wait to text Billy after this show, Garen, because we had Billy on about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Zeev, and I'm going to tell him, I'm going to say Zeev was a 10 times better guest than you
I don't know about that.
But listen, there's one more thing that I want to ask you, and I'll let JR finish it off. But um, I grew up in Canada. As you know, JR is one of the top Americans ever play, but I've been in
Oh
the
yeah,
US for 23 years, and I got to be honest, and my Canadian family will hate me, but I tend to cheer for the US in the last few years because my son's playing and so on. The other countries are not, you guys were never afraid to play Canada, but a lot of countries, including US, I think it's safe to say were intimidated to play Canada a few years ago. What I see now is that's not the case anymore.
no,
That's not, they would bully a lot of teams through intimidation and physicality and so on. I don't see that happening anymore. I don't see Finland, Sweden, US. There's a lot of countries that they don't. Canada is not feared like they used to be. Is that a
no,
safe or evaluation or assessment?
for sure. I mean, I've seen a lot of things now too. Like other countries just catching up. Even Latvia, like that win
Right.
is crazy, right? But I mean, it just shows like look at like that goalie like was unbelievable.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like it just kind of shows like there's guys that are coming up and around the world are just getting better that was like playing all these teams obviously at U18 Worlds and playing them at the World Juniors last year, like it just they were so much better this year too. Like playing Latvia, like I've never played a Latvian team that was that good.
Wow.
Even though we killed Germany, like they still put up 4 goals on us. Like they were still pretty
Right.
good. Like
Right.
so it's like it just goes to show like it's getting better. It's going to continue to get better. And like you said, I mean, I don't think anybody fears Canada as much as they used to. And
Right.
obviously, they're missing. Bedard could have been eligible.
Yeah.
Celebrini could have been eligible.
Yeah, but
Benson. But I mean, in my head, like I still think like we have a couple. We have like Smith could have been there or
sure.
whatever. But I still think like you bring those guys. I mean, we'll put up a fight against anybody. I think
Yeah.
that's just where the U.S. is going at this point. Like
Mhm.
you could bring your best guys. That's what we want. We want your best guys. We want the best players there. Like that's what makes it the best tournament. For our age is just like you're playing the best players in the world at your
Right.
age, and beating them there's no better feeling. So I think, like, it's just for me, it just kind of shows where we're going as a
Yeah.
country. And
Is US the new top dog?
I mean, I would say so. I mean, for our, like, I'm going to speak personally for our birth year, our
Right.
'05 birth year. I think, we won U18 Worlds. We won, with the '04s at the World Juniors. We won now with the '06s at the World Juniors. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a team right now at this moment that is, bigger than we are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It
See,
definitely changed dramatically over the last 10 years.
big
Big
time.
time.
Yeah.
Zeev, I didn't look it up. Was that Latvian goalie? Was he drafted?
I have no idea. I have no
I've
idea.
got to look that up after because everyone's talking about that performance he put on, and I'm like, if he hasn't been drafted, then someone's going to at least invite
Someone
him
will
to
pick him
camp.
up. Yeah.
What was it like? What was it like having Brady Kachuk? Because I've known Brady and Matthew since they've been 3 and 4 years old,
Mhm.
living here in St. Louis. What was it like having Brady around the dressing room? You guys are playing in Ottawa. They love
Yeah.
their hockey there. Just having Brady, because he's a proud American. It must have been great for your guys.
It was awesome. Yeah. I mean, just to see a guy like him, and what he's doing in the NHL, and obviously what he did with USA Hockey, to see him care as much as he did,
Yeah.
and support us that much, and be so pumped up, was so awesome. And I mean, he's a legend in Ottawa. I mean, you go to any dinner
Yeah.
spot over there, he's got something signed for them, and they all know him, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's incredible. So it was awesome. It was such an awesome experience to have him there, and just see him how happy it was for us, especially after we won. I mean, he's down there like screaming with us, and celebrating. So
Great. That's great.
it was awesome. And he also let us enjoy it ourselves too. He didn't want to.
Right.
We would have loved if he was there all the time with us, but I think for him, he understood like how much it means to be with each other, and so it
Mhm.
was really cool to see him have that balance.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I don't know if there are any kids that are and I didn't look at everybody that was on your World Junior team. Are there any kids that are up for the draft this year
Yeah,
that we can look forward to? Because I'm coaching the prospects game next
I
week.
heard about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
I'm pretty excited to go and
Yeah,
get on the bench and watch these guys fly around. But is there
yeah.
anybody that's going to be there uh, I should watch and maybe put a boot up somebody's ass next week as a coach?
Oh man, yeah. I don't know that '07 group too well, just because I obviously wasn't there when they were there. But I heard this LJ Mooney. I know him. He's awesome,
Is
awesome
he?
kid.
All right.
Definitely got to give him a little bit of
All
shit.
right. The
He's
Moody.
awesome, and
That's good. I'll be Moody for Moody. There's no question
yeah,
about it.
yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, I mean, obviously for this draft, like, I mean, James Hagens is unreal. I mean,
Yeah.
he's on our team. Obviously, the World Juniors in college. He won't be at that game, but he's a stud. Obviously, a great kid. Like, such a fun kid to be around. Great character. Always having a good time. So it was awesome for a kid like him. How good he is. It's so fun to see. Him be so humble, and I think that's just what makes it better. And what betters a team too when you have guys like that being your funny guys and your
Yeah.
character guys in the locker room.
Well, I'll say one more thing and then I'll let JR American to American close it off. But please, first of all, I wish you nothing but the best this season. You've been an incredible guest, one of my favorites this year,
Yeah.
JR.
Absolutely.
Please tell your mom and dad, JR and I get beat up on social media all the time, and I couldn't give a shit. I am so pro Israel. I'm tweeting out flags. You got to follow me now, okay?
Yeah.
And hopefully we saw I know you're busy, but your mom and dad, I'm sure, saw Trump's press conference yesterday, and he said if they're not back the day before he gets into office or that day, there's going to be
Yep.
hell to pay.
That's
And
awesome.
hopefully we'll have those hostages back. So
Yeah.
nothing but the best this year.
Thank you. I
Congrats
really
on the
appreciate
gold
that.
medal,
Yeah.
and go DU.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know whether you guys know this, but I'm Jewish um, by friendship. I think I have 90% of my friends are Highland Park or
I got a couple buddies like that too.
yeah. It's just that's that it's and so I I love that that Peelsy just said that because you know what's happened in this world is that utter catastrophe and it's embarrassing, and to see the things that are happening it anger me beyond belief. But I will say this: you are extremely humble. You are such a charismatic kid, and I want to tell you this going into a professional career, bring that attitude, the way you talk, the way you communicate, the stories that you tell, your respect as you look in the eye when you're talking to somebody. Some of these kids don't have personalities. Bring that personality every
Mhm.
single day to the rink. Bring it to your teammates, bring it to the cameras, bring it to the media, bring it on the ice, because I'm telling you it's going to make you one of the more popular players on that Minnesota Wild team when you get there. I'm so impressed with you, and I couldn't be more happy with your draft, with where you came from, your journey, the championship with the World Juniors, now going for another championship with DU. I think you're really special. Not only to have one of the coolest names of all time, too, and I'm gonna be following you.
Wow.
So we
Yeah.
really appreciate you being on, my friend,
You know.
and I'm gonna have Tim reach out to you, give you my phone number, and when you come back home to Southern Cal, you better come visit me because I'm not too far. Okay?
That's awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you so much. This
yeah.
is awesome to hear those words from you guys. I mean, that's so special. So I really appreciate it.
Well, good
Thanks,
luck
Steve.
to you, ZB, and we will be wishing the best for you. And I can't wait to see you in that green uniform.
Yeah, let's go. All right.
Right.
Thank you guys.
Okay,
Thanks for
guys.
having me on.
See you later, guys. Good luck, buddy. All the
Thank
best.
you.
I got to be honest. I had a smile on my face the whole time, Jr. That kid is, man, oh man, like
That kid is solid as they come.
he is unbelievable. Like
His
what
parents
an
should be. His parents must be so proud of,
no
and I'm
kidding.
sure his brother's the same way. But that was, I mean, usually you have young kids, and we would have to control a lot of the conversation.
100%.
Let him go. That was amazing.
I don't know, like a robot.
Yeah,
He was unbelievable. Like
unbelievable.
so impressive. I'm definitely gonna root for him in college hockey this year. I gotta do some homework on college hockey because
And
I
by the way,
obviously
I was thinking of your son. You know, obviously looking at for because he's a defenseman,
right
and by the way, a very good defenseman. That
edge.
he's
Yeah,
got that edge, and to have him look up to somebody like that,
yeah,
um, I bet you you're gonna have a lot of fun doing that.
yeah. What an impressive young man. Like you said, his parents must be extremely proud because have two kids make it or get drafted um,
From California,
from California. Two
and
brothers.
is an end of the Jewish nature, which I say, which there's not many. And
No,
there
no,
has
there's
not been
not.
many throughout the history in the National Hockey League, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, that was awesome. Where are you doing that prospect game at? Where is
It's
that?
in Detroit. It's at Little Caesars Arena on the 16th, which is next Friday, I believe.
Yep, yep.
Next Thursday, in Detroit. So I'm
Who's
looking forward to
coaching it with you?
Robert Esch is going to be on the
Oh,
other side.
Essie.
Yeah, so
Nice.
it's going to be Eshy and I in there, and I'm really excited to be around these young kids. It's this is a big opportunity for them to showcase their stuff right before the draft. So it's going to
Right.
be um, any little thing that I can do to help them
Yeah.
and be a part of the USA Hockey program again in this aspect is going to be a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That was a great show, buddy.
Great show,
Well,
man.
hey,
Well,
shout out to Runes very well, Chris Rooney and Eric Furlot, two longtime referees, both worked their 1500th game this week.
wow,
So
fantastic.
shout out to both of those guys. That's an incredible career by both of them. As you know, 1500 games is a long time, and those guys deserve a lot of credit.
100%. Great storytellers, great
Mhm.
referees, and yeah, they're definitely two of my favorites. But again, listen, we didn't talk any NHL, and I didn't miss it
No,
tonight because ZV just totally blew me away. So thanks to him again. Thanks to Whiskey in the Wild, to to Bet Online, to Protected Net Guards for always the support, and obviously the fans and everybody listening. We really love your support, and we will see everybody again next Wednesday. Hopefully Wednesday, see what's going on, because Thursday I will be in Detroit, so
Yeah,
not sure.
exactly.
I'm sure Wednesday should be a good day. But from my buddy Tim Peel, I am Jeremy Roenick. We will see you next week on Snipes and Stripes right here on NoFilter.net. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and enjoy the games.
See you, buddy.
Bye, buddy.